If the idea of life was to find as many creative ways to spend as much money as possible, like buying rare stamps and then mailing it out, or booking time so that you could play the Yankees, or even making terrible investments like an iceberg transportation company, then yeah, everyone would be doing better than you. But that's not real life. That's the plot of the 80s movie Brewster's Millions starring Richard Pryor and John Candy. You might be comparing yourself to someone that feels it's their job and mission to blow their money as quick as humanly possible. And what I learned as a kid is never go toe-to-toe with an idiot because they will bring you down to their level and beat you at their own game.
God damn, there's a lot of stupid bastards walking around.
Growing up, my family didn't have much money. I was raised by a single mother who worked 3 jobs to put my 2 sisters and I in a 2-bedroom apartment. Believe it or not, that was actually an upgrade from my childhood home before then. See, in school, I was a good athlete, but I felt so out of place when all the kids on my team had Nikes and other cool brands. I must have been about 12 years old when one of my classmates asked me once if I was wearing the new Air Maxes. I replied, "Yup," but they weren't. They were from Payless Shoes, which is a budget brand here in the US. I was one of the best athletes in my school. I was being recruited by colleges, captain of several of my teams that I played on, and I wore the cheapest shoes possible. I felt embarrassed, I felt hurt, and I felt jealous towards everyone else. See, it's easy to feel like everyone else is doing better, even at a young age. Better financially, living better lives, especially with social media is just filled with highlight reels of people's lives and basically just a snapshot. But here's the truth. Many people are struggling, just like you. According to a recent survey, nearly 60% of Americans feel broke and live paycheck to paycheck. The pressure to appear successful can lead to the overspending and debt, creating a vicious cycle of financial stress on all of us. It's important to set realistic goals. Focus on your financial goals rather comparing yourself to others. What are your long-term goals? I'm not talking about the next purchase you make, but if your goal is to have a net worth of $1 million, then you don't have to worry about what others think of how you look. Is your goal to have a $5,000 purse with $1 in it? Or would you rather have a $1 purse with $5,000 in it? I'd rather have the money. If you feel differently, leave me a comment below. My goals were wrong in my teens and my 20s. Here's another example. I played guitar and I made minimum wage. Yet, here I was charging $4,000 on equipment to look like a good player. And I wasn't good. The more mature me now would say, put that money towards lessons and learn a skill, not just appear like I knew what the hell I was doing. I would have been far more successful had I put that $4,000 towards getting lessons than I did the way I blew it. But people want to look the part, not actually be the part. According to a study by the Federal Reserve, nearly 40% of Americans don't have enough money to cover a $400 emergency fund. Mainly because we try to appear successful instead of working on being successful. It's important to also avoid the temptation to keep up with others. It's really hard, and I started by telling you my Nike story as a kid. If you spend less than you earn and prioritize needs over wants, you will be fine. See, I used to buy the latest, basically anything, phones, gadgets, clothes, all of that when I was an idiot with my money. But it only led me to more debt and more stress. Now, I focus on what truly matters, spending time with my family and saving for the future. I've done both, the extreme saving and the reckless spending. I've looked successful and I'm now financially free. And trust me, owing no bank anything is so much more joyful than looking the part. I swear, squirrels are smarter than we are at times. See, squirrels spend months accumulating food to make it last through the winter. They find food and they save some for later. They are planning ahead. Yet we don't. Most people blow it as soon as they get it. I got a comment a little while back from someone that was a bank teller. And every Friday, they needed to call the same customers over and over and over again that would spend all their money before they even got paid. The people that appear to be doing better than you likely are more stressed than you. We can only hope more people become as smart as squirrels. Here's the quiet truth about real wealth. Often we think the person whom we might be doing better than because of their job title or because how they dress that we're doing better. But that person could be very well Ronald Reed. Who's Ronald Reed, you asked? I'm glad you asked that question because he was a janitor and a gas station attendant who quietly built a fortune of $8 million through frugal living and investing. He lived modestly, he drove secondhand cars, and never flaunted his wealth. Stories like Ronald's are rarely ever told because they take a lot of time and discipline, and people don't want to do that. We would rather share and celebrate those stories of someone winning the lottery. This does not happen very often. Frugal millionaires like Ronald happen way more often than anyone winning the lottery. Yet we don't share those stories. Real wealth is truly quiet. It's not about the nicest clothes or the fake status symbol. It's about financial security, freedom, and peace of mind. Many wealthy individuals live modestly. In fact, anyone that I've ever met that's extremely wealthy, you wouldn't know by meeting them. They prioritize saving and investing over spending. They understand that true success isn't about impressing others, but about building a stable and fulfilling life. Remember, social media and society often paint this distorted picture of success. That picture that you saw this morning on Instagram isn't just random. This person probably took dozens, if not hundreds of pictures to find the one best looking one. They used filter and they were very careful with their message on, hey, look how great I'm doing. That is a fake reality because I told you 60% of people feel broke. They probably do too. Don't let it dictate your self-worth or financial decisions scrolling on social media. Focus on what truly matters to you and take the steps towards financial freedom. You'll find that real happiness comes from living a life aligned with your values, not from chasing an illusion of success. In fact, check out this short video here on how I cured myself of trying to constantly be a people pleaser.